Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, jctickets.net, Geico Insurance, Dunaway Furniture, Ocean City Golf Club, RussellStreetReport.com, Comfort Inn Gold Coast, Holiday Inn Express, BuyAToyota.com, your official site for Toyota deals. The original Green Turtle, hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
Welcome back in. It is the original Green Turtles Ravens Wrap Show on Comcast Beach TV, and now this season also on 47 ABC, WNBT, and 93.5 The Beach. Don't forget our radio show airs at 11 o'clock Sunday mornings. Now on TV, we air on ABC 47 Saturday nights at 7:30 before the college game of the week. And last week, we were one heck of a lead into Florida State Notre Dame. I'll tell you that right now, from what I hear ratings-wise. Also, we're on at noon on Sunday as well. So if you don't catch us there, you can catch us at noon on Sunday. And don't forget, Comcast Beach TV does a great job. We air all over the place. I get more people saying they see me on TV than they do on radio, and that's scary. Sorry you have to see me and not hear me. Anyway, Mike Bradley from 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore, 92.7 WGND, mornings 5 to 9. To my left, the show, middays 10 to 3 on Ocean 98. JJ, our special guest this week. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, buddy.
JJ.
Yeah.
JJ, you gotta tell us, what's it like?
Oh, real quick, make some noise for Mike Bradley. No,
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. There it is.
JJ's got to tell us what it's like, though, working with Bulldog. Because I tell you what, I had the opportunity to play a round of golf with Bulldog the other day, and I tell you, he is just one of the funniest guys I've ever met. Just a treat of a guy to play golf with and hang out with.
And the best part about him, you know, he's my boss and all that, but he's also a friend. And no, he's not here, so I'm not having to say this, but he's from Chicago.
We'll make a copy for you.
Yeah, so he is a diehard, Chicago Bears fan. But this season, we've gone to every single home game together. A big group of us from here in Ocean City and Ocean 98, and slowly but surely, see him wearing a little burgundy and gold during the week and having a little bit of fun. So it's definitely my
Bobby,
pleasure.
I think we're gonna have to have a talk with him.
Yeah, we gotta switch. We gotta switch him over. The purple and black, he's got to come over.
Get on a winning team for once.
And I hope it's okay I mentioned this, as you can see, and JJ's got a breast cancer shirt, and we've got, I've got breast cancer pin here. Your mom is a survivor.
Absolutely, and also she's a colon cancer survivor, but all cancers out there, obviously, it's going to affect each one of us in our lives at some point. But I was talking to you guys off the air. Through friends of mine in Baltimore, we know Jacoby Jones, obviously number 12 for you guys. And when Jacoby Jones scores his first touchdown this year, look for something. He's going to be doing a double flex, kind of like a former player of y'all that used to do. But what it is that is a symbol for Zacking Against Cancer, which is a young man who passed away at the age of 20, of a University of Maryland student of cancer. And we got in touch with Jacoby Jones before the preseason started, and he said that when he scored his first touchdown this year, he was going to put the ball down, give a big flexing for Zacking Against Cancer. So look for that when Jacoby scores for the Ravens.
We hope it's this week.
Absolutely. Sooner than later. I'm rooting for him.
Yep. And to round out the panel from the Endless Golf Guide, and some golf shows all across the Mid-Atlantic, Masson and Root Sports, and Bobby Vermillion.
Good to be back, mate.
Let's talk a quick second. We've talked about the Ravens and respecting their history going back to the Colts. They did a great job Sunday in honoring the Orioles. And, there's been some talk over the years. It hasn't exactly been the greatest of relationships. Hopefully things have smoothed out a little bit. Obviously, there's a controversy about last year with the game and Monday night and all that, or Thursday night football coming off the Super Bowl. But anyway, that's water under the bridge now. But a great tribute for Buck Showalter, who was honored, and the Orioles themselves before the game started. And I think that's great. And look, to me, I don't get into competition as a Orioles town, as a Ravens town. To me, it's both, and it can be both, and it should be both. So kudos to the Ravens for honoring the Orioles. And JJ, I know you're a Redskins fan. We'll give you a pass on that for now.
Yeah.
But no, JJ's
he's also
a huge Orioles fan.
Yeah, growing up in Southern Maryland, all I had growing up, I'm 31, were the Orioles, the Redskins, the Capitals, and the Bullets, now the Wizards.
Yeah.
So those are my teams, and I'm going nowhere.
Yeah. No, I know, and I enjoy talking. Hey, during baseball season, we're in simpatico there.
Absolutely. I don't know what that means, but yes. Big word.
Yeah.
Remember, he's from Southern.
No, you can. From the county, buddy.
Yeah. We'll get into the game upcoming against the Cincinnati Bengals in just a second. Just going over a little bit more of the 29-7 win. Unfortunately, there was a casualty in the game, and long snapper Morgan Cox was knocked out with an ACL injury, and they've signed a guy, let me look on my tablet here to be exact, Kevin McDermott, who formerly played with the San Francisco 49ers. He's the snapper. Now, here's the deal. Snappers, as you know, they don't get talked about unless they screw up. And so, to have to come in halfway through the year, and John Harbaugh said in the press conference, their special teams and him being a special teams guy, there are a lot of different nuances to the position. It's a lot more complex than a lot of other teams. So, Bobby, he's got a lot that he has to digest in 1 week. And with a division game coming up, again, he doesn't want to be the one called out Sunday for screwing up a play.
That's so true. And you know what? These guys, not only physically, but mentally, they have to prepare so well. Because if you can imagine when you're watching a football game and that winning field goal or that extra point that makes a difference, and how nervous you are in front of the television. Now, I know these guys are trained professionals, but you always think about the three guys on that play: the snapper, the holder, and the kicker. You don't really think about the lineman that much, but that's a big part of it too. But you always think about the guy holding the ball first, who has to give it to the holder. And it's certainly a timing position and an important position. It'll be interesting to see if that transition goes pretty smoothly, which it probably will.
Well, let's hope.
They're all trained professionals from what they have a history with this guy, because during the training camp when the 49ers were here, they spent a lot of time with him and watched him do his work. Very professional, so I think they're really comfortable with this guy. And the only reason I heard the 49ers cut him because I think their long snapper is also their backup tight end. So I think that was one of the reasons they let him go, and the Ravens pick him up. And Morgan Cox had a lot of chemistry, obviously, with Tucker.
Well, the great thing they said, he was in on Monday. He was in with his wife and family, actually, but he's offered all his services to help out. And, having been, I wasn't a snapper, but quarterback, and I did also hold on kicks. My best friend was the kicker. Let me tell you, that's a nervous position, too.
No question.
Long snapper, holder, you don't want to screw that up at all. Let me tell you. And, actually, there's a Notre Dame game when they played Stanford, and I think the punter was the holder. He screwed up on not one but two holds on field goals, and ultimately that didn't hurt them, but that was a very close game.
Well, if you think about the Dallas Cowboys, and you're a Cowboys fan, think about Tony Romo. What do you think about?
Oh, yeah.
Fumbling the snap against Seattle.
That's right.
Well, the Cowboys just signed their kicker, Dan Bailey, through 2020. He signed through 2020 as a kicker. Way to go, Jerry Jones.
Well, that's the Cowboys.
Good job,
yeah.
bud. Don't worry.
Although they are doing well, but
yeah, just give it time. Romo will do Romo.
I'm not buying in. I'm not buying in. I'm sorry. I don't care if they're 6-1 or not. But that was the one injury that unfortunately the
well, it is Cowboys week. It's Cowboys Redskins week.
Absolutely.
So it is. That's right.
You've got to be excited about that. The Cowboys coming in. Everybody's the national
we're
media
going
loves
to
the Cowboys.
Dallas.
Yeah,
you're going.
That's right. You're going to that. So
Dallas.
everybody's talking about the Cowboys. The Cowboys they're the team to beat in the NFC right now. They beat the Seahawks. So your perspective, it could make your season right now if the Redskins
absolutely. I
upset the
think being
Cowboys.
2-5 and the Cowboys being 6-1 and the Eagles being who they are, we, I think, now just need to accept the role. Every game, the professional athletes, of course, they're going to go out and give 100% because you know what? They're making millions of dollars, and these guys that are the second and third tier making between $430,000 and $800,000 a year. They're playing for their contracts, for their livelihood, for next season. So we're going to give it our all. So I think we're going to play spoiler for the rest of the year because we had the Dallas this week, and then to end our season, we go Giants, Eagles, Cowboys. So I think that a lot of people obviously are throwing us out of there, no chance. But as you guys know, with the Bears, with the Steelers, with all of your conference games, your divisional games, it should be a lot closer than a lot of people think, to say the least.
And it would be a happier holiday for Redskins fans if they could end up with a couple wins late in December, for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, speaking of talking about being talking about spoilers, we go around the AFC North for a second. Cleveland, off that big win against Pittsburgh, and the week before coming back against Tennessee, they go down to Jacksonville and lay a complete egg in that one. And I think Hoyer ends up throwing the ball 56 times, and they go for it on fourth down one time, and they completely botched that effort and ended up getting a delay of game penalty. But Bobby, again, and we know we've been down to Jacksonville before on a Monday night and played horribly, and it's really screwed us up for a better playoff seed in the AFC. But, yeah, that's why it's a week-to-week league, and you can say, oh, this is a win, this is a win, this is a loss.
Jacksonville. Yeah. We beat Jacksonville.
Well, then there you go. That's
there
all
you go.
Yeah. But
there you go.
The Browns laid an egg.
I said if you gamble in football, you really need your head examined. And you look at this week and you look at the Cleveland Browns. My apologies go out to Rick Meehan, our wonderful mayor, because we all know he's a big Cleveland fan. And I officially probably put the kiss of death on the Cleveland Browns last week when I said they're actually in the conversation for the AFC North. Well, they're not in the conversation anymore.
Well, they still could be. Again, it's a week.
As of today, they're not, but it is week to week for sure.
The Cincinnati Bengals, who we'll talk about coming up, they get blown out 27-0. We'll talk about that since we're going to preview the game. But then the Pittsburgh Steelers, they get down 13-0 Monday night to the Houston Texans, and then they scored 24 points in, I believe, 3 minutes and 6 seconds in the second quarter before going to halftime. They end up holding on to win, 30-23, I believe it was.
And
Unbelievable.
It's funny because we talked about this the last few weeks about the Steelers. Do not count the Pittsburgh Steelers out.
4-3.
Ben Roethlisberger, he's a guy that can make plays, will make plays. He's a fierce competitor. As much as you don't like Ben Roethlisberger, if you're a Ravens fan, you have to respect him. It's kind of like a Derek Jeter from the Yankees. If you're an Orioles fan, you learn to respect him, and the Yankees fans always respected Cal Ripken. Well, Roethlisberger is that guy when it comes to on the field playing football. He's a guy that can make things happen. And, the Steelers look like they struggle a little bit, but there's a team that can run the football. They got a good quarterback. If they can find a way to get their defense in order, they could be a team to be reckoning with as we move down the stretch here. Let's get through these next 2 weeks, Mike. I said it a couple in our last segment. The next 2 weeks, key for the Ravens season.
It's a very good point. I mean, divisional games and on the road, and one of those, they're retiring Mean Joe Green's numbers. So football gods looking down. We'll see about that.
That's right. We won because we retired. Mark Rippon went into the Ring of Honor Sunday. That's right. Mark Rippon, Super Bowl champ.
That's right.
That's right.
That's
why we won.
You got the field goal win over Tennessee.
Yeah, we're talking about the field goals real quick. Hatcher, who came on, you're talking about your new snapper, and you got one of the best, if not the best in the league, and Tucker as your kicker. Mm-hmm. Hatcher came onto the field, one of our defensive ends, and told Kai Forbath, right before he kicked it, after the timeout was called, if you miss it, you're never coming into our locker room again. There's your pressure.
Now that's a good teammate.
And that's just on the kicker, not the
Not
snapper,
the holder,
the new
right.
snapper, the new holder, and all that. There's a little bit of pressure. You got someone that is, 5'3", 180 pounds, soaking wet, compared to a 6'4", 260-pound man. You miss this, you never come into the locker room again. So
that bodes well for team chemistry for sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we talked about Pac-Man Jones last week and him criticizing Mike Nugent against Carolina for missing that field goal at the end of the game. And what, you don't think Mike Nugent knows that he missed the field goal? He wasn't trying to miss the field goal. But anyway, we'll talk about that coming up as the Ravens take on the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati. Paul Brown Stadium, kickoff at 1 o'clock, and we'll recap the game in which the Ravens lost Week 1 and it looked pretty bad, and then we had the short week going into Pittsburgh, and look where we are now, 5-2. So keeping the faith, but definitely a game that we want to have since they took it from us on our home field. We want to take it from them on their home field. Lots more to come. It is the Ravens Wrap Show right here on Comcast Beach TV, ABC 47 and 93.5 The Beach. We're back next. Keep it here.
In April 1959, Art Wall won the Masters, edging out Carey Middlecoff and Arnold Palmer by finishing birdie, 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 par birdie. 1 month later, Ocean City Golf Club celebrated the opening of their first 18 holes. That course has been transformed now into one of the most scenic golf layouts on the East Coast. Come experience 36 of the most beautiful and challenging holes you'll find anywhere. Ocean City Golf Club in Ocean City, Maryland.
Come see us at Blue Ox.
Welcome to the Comfort Inn Gold Coast. Conveniently located just 1 block from the beach and adjacent to shopping at the Gold Coast Mall and the movie theater. Newly renovated and open year-round with a marvelous bayfront view. Visit us on the web at comfortgoldcoast.com and see our hot deals and great golf packages, or simply call our direct reservation line to plan your stay.